You're listening to the Public Health Entrepreneurs Podcast with your host, Dr. Charlotte Huntley. After a year of political shifts, increase in burnout, and navigating tremendous challenges, the need for support and self-care has never been greater. It is essential for survival as an entrepreneur. Welcome to Public Health Entrepreneurs, the podcast for leaders transforming health at the population level. I'm Dr. Charlotte Huntley. Whether your background is in policy, research, technology, pharmacy, environmental science, or another field entirely, if you are building a business focused on population health, this podcast is for you. I bring over 25 years of experience in healthcare, public health, and entrepreneurship to help you build the business strategies that create healthier communities. Today, we're going to talk about inspiration and self-care. We can never have too much of this in public health. We know the importance of self-care for other people, but we're not as good about it when it's us, and we need to provide that for ourselves. Before we dive into inspiration and self-care, I think it's important to talk a bit about positive mindset. Maintaining a positive mindset, a growth mindset for your business is really important. Your positive outlook doesn't mean you're happy all day, all the time, that you never have a sad moment, or that you never feel discouraged. It simply means you're choosing a lens that helps you see positive in whatever situation you're in. Even if it feels like a failure or a loss, you're going to see something. There's something positive you can take from that experience to move you forward and refocus yourself on your vision and your goals. Sometimes this is easier to do than others, but that's where support and self-care come in. Now, I think it's important to seek a supportive network and inspiration. So surround yourself with a supportive network of peers, folks who understand the journey you're on, people who've been on this path or are a little further along, those who understand you're creating something and building something, people who get that it's creative and scientific at the same time, those who know you're figuring it all out. This includes mentors, fellow public health entrepreneurs, other professionals in the field. And the supportive network provides support when you need it, inspiration to keep you going, and understanding when things are hard. Connection has never been more important. After what the field has gone through in 2025, what we continue to navigate, you need people who understand what you're experiencing and can encourage you to keep going. Now, there's power in regular discussions or conversations. So engage in regular conversations with your network. Share experiences, not just the good ones, but the ones that are not so pretty. These networks and connections work best when you're willing to be transparent and really share about your experiences. They can help you sift out lessons from those challenges and experiences and help you move forward. Some of these conversations help you stay on track with your goals or help to reconnect you with your passion for improving health and remind you of the outcomes and the impact that you want to have. Your support system will evolve. This is a really important reality. Finding the right people can be challenging. Sometimes the support system you start out with can only get you to a certain point. Then you need to be connected to a different group of people at a different level at that point in time. And that is okay. The group that you start out with is not always the group that takes you all the way through. Just be aware of that. The key is that with intention, seek out that supportive group. Seek out people and moments that inspire you. And the inspiration matters. Moments and places and examples of inspiration are vital for you on this journey, for all the things you will face, good and bad. I would say this is almost like a non-negotiable. You can decide what your non-negotiables are, but for me, having support is vital for this journey. Your support needs may have changed after 2025. The people who supported you before might not understand what you're facing now. It's okay to find new community that gets where you are today. They really understand and can relate to where you are today. Now, I think it's important to practice self-care. And I've mentioned this a little earlier, a few moments ago, and I know you've heard this, but here's why self-care is non-negotiable. I cannot say enough about this because I thought I was doing it really well at one point. I wasn't really doing it at all. Then I started practicing it and thought, oh, well, I'm doing this now. I can check that box. And I realized there was so much more room to grow in this area. So, for public health professionals specifically, I think it's harder for us to really see and be honest with ourselves about where we are with self care. My perspective, I don't think there's such a thing as too much self care. So, you don't have to worry about overdoing it. There's a lot of room to grow here. After this last year, self care isn't optional anymore. Burnout is real. You can't serve anyone if you're running on empty. So, for me personally, if I don't prioritize self care activities, if I'm not taking care of myself first, then I'm nothing to anybody else who's counting on me. And that goes for professional relationships and personal relationships. So this is how I've structured things for myself. Now, again, you have to decide what your needs are and what self-care looks like for you. But here's an example of what it looks like for me right now. I have prioritized self-care in a whole different way than ever before. I literally have a set work schedule, which I always have, and sometimes that changes. But I want to remind you that this is your business. You get to decide what your work schedule looks like. And I encourage you to have a schedule to help with those boundaries so that your professional life doesn't spill over into your personal life and vice versa. So I have a set work schedule. I have a daily routine. That means a daily routine specifically of early morning runs. Now, I've loved walking for years, but I started running in the fall of 2025, and I absolutely love it. It serves me in such a way that walking just can't do. So I also have regular blocks of time on my calendar designated as no meeting zones. This gives me the freedom and flexibility to work off camera and off grid if I choose. This protects my energy in a way that helps me be more productive and also recharge my battery. I absolutely love engaging with my clients. I love my meetings. I love the sales process. I love engaging with my team. But I have to have these zones to protect that space and the ability for me to have the flexibility. I love podcasting. It's very demanding running 2 podcasts. If I don't put these blocks of time in, then I'm not honoring myself and I'm not able to perform and deliver the way that I really need to and the way that I want to. So these things in combination are a part of self-care for me. You know, how you decide your work schedule looks is up to you. You can work 3 days a week. You can work 5 days a week. You can work 6 days a week. You can work 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, 5 hours a day. It's completely up to you. So once you decide, you can always change it. So I have a schedule that works for me right now, but it's not the same schedule I had a year ago. So that is all up to you. All of these things I do are part of self-care and holding space for how I want to be able to work and not be so burnt out, but enjoy the things I do and be productive. And then how I take care of myself and hold space for that. So the first couple times I practiced this, I felt very uncomfortable, even a little guilty, like I should be in more meetings or working in a more traditional way. I'm using air quotes. I felt like I needed to be doing all the things because that's how I functioned for so long. But I gave myself permission. I can work in a way that allows me to take care of myself, making self-care a priority and really feeling good about it. I'm encouraging you to prioritize yourself. Prevention is what we do, right? So prevent all the extra stressors and decide on some regular increments of self-care that you're going to implement into your routine and take care of yourself. Many of you hit the wall in 2025. You know what burnout feels like now. Don't wait until you crash again. Build self-care in now while you're rebuilding. So just a quick recap as I begin to close here. 2 essential practices. Number 1, seek inspiration and support. Find your peers, your groups. You need a group of peers to be fed, to be supported, and where you can be inspired as well. This is really almost a non-negotiable for entrepreneurial success. And number 2, practice self-care on a higher level. Make sure you're practicing self-care on a higher level than whatever you're doing now. It's really important. Implementing these practices will help you maintain a positive mindset, take care of yourself, and be fresh and ready for all the things that come under all the hats that you wear and all the responsibilities that you have. Be strategic about taking care of yourself. You cannot build a sustainable business if you're not sustainable. Surround yourself with support. Give yourself permission to rest. Your business, your clients, and your community need you healthy and whole. I encourage you to explore our website at publichealthentrepreneurs.com. Make sure that you have subscribed to our Public Health Entrepreneurs newsletter so that you receive updates about our podcasts, programs, and events. All right, everyone. Until next time, have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you for listening. Visit publichealthentrepreneurs.com to learn more.